So my name is Mohini Bagalia.
My name is James Falls.
We're both studying medicine at the moment.
We spent our time in the inpatient unit doing ward rounds, meeting the patients, handovers, learning about the different types of medication and what goes on at the hospice. We went to the palliative care coordination centre and learned about what they do there. And then we spent a day on the day hospice, going out to different patients in the community.
All of the staff were really, really nice, really welcoming, and obviously naturally it's quite a difficult week for us to spend in a hospice, and everyone was really supportive and made sure we were okay, very knowledgeable, gave us a good insight into what went on there, so it was nice. When I was younger and I started to think about applying to medical school, there was a lot of emphasis from school and everyone I spoke to about saving lives, and obviously it took me a while to come to terms with the fact that some consultants would say to patients, oh, there's nothing more that can be done. I think the hospice have completely changed my sort of outlook on that. So they put so much emphasis on like the quality of life of the patient, and I think I've learned that sometimes having that quality of life to do the things you want to do in a short amount of time maybe is a lot better than having 5 or 10 years of living and not being able to do those things.
Working with the hospice, working with the staff and seeing what they do, it made me realise that, and it comforted to me to know that the patients who were on end-of-life care were getting the best treatment possible.
We went to see a patient who was recently diagnosed with cancer, and there, like, the nurse was incredible. We spent about an hour at his house just speaking through all issues, and like, as a medical student we spend a lot of time with consultants who do things clinically about treatment and medication, but she emotionally connected with the patient, asked him if he needed any counselling. His partner was sitting next to him, so asked if she was okay, if she needed any counselling. Things like managing his bank account, who to call in an emergency.
The relationship between the doctors and patients, I think, is very different at the hospice to how it is at the hospital. And although there's still a professional relationship there, in the sense that they are the doctor and the patient, they are a lot more friendly, a lot more warm to them. And like Mohini said, they were doing all sorts of things. One of the nurses I was with, she was, sorting out how the patient was going to get a shop in, and they were just very friendly. I think that makes a big difference to the patients as well.
There was a football match recently that the patient wanted to go to, and he went down to London in a limo, and it was like last few weeks of life, and it was just really nice to hear, I guess, that these people do all of this for these patients to really make the most of their last few days.
I went out with a placement with a nurse called Annie, and she said to me, we only get to die once and we have to get it right. And I think that's kind of stuck with me, in that dying is a process. It's not just an event at the end of life, it's a whole process. It can take weeks.
100% quality of life over quantity of life, and Barnabas really does make that happen. I've seen it with my own eyes. So